Kristin and I met in the 20s ministry, and then she always told us she was only going to be here for a year. And so I never thought of her as more than a temporary friend, although I did think she was cute.
I did remember him coming up randomly, kind of awkwardly, when I was trying to get plugged into the GroupMe like messaging app so that I would know when there was like upcoming hangouts and stuff.
And the first thing I ever said was, "All right, so now after you give us that $20 down payment, we'll let you know in 2 weeks if you got it." And she actually believed me. I let her know right after that I was kidding. But that was the first thing I ever said to her. And yet she still liked me for some reason.
As far as when I knew that Will was the one, it's kind of an interesting question for me to answer because, to be honest, it was just like the fact of seeing Will's confidence in our relationship and his leadership that really gave me confidence and peace that like we were on the right path as far as even considering marriage, and him being the one. Seeing that confidence, I guess, was what helped me realize that he was the one for me, because I could just tell how much he loved me and how just determined he was that we were meant to be together, and there was like no doubt in his mind. And usually, I think just personality wise, I tend to be the more decisive one. Let's get things done. Let's make a decision. I'm often the person that makes those kind of decisions, just in general. And yet, in this case, like, Will just knew exactly what he wanted, and he was so confident, and that was like really attractive to me, and just gave me a lot of peace about it.
But the day that I knew that I loved her for sure was the day we went to Chicago. So this whole stressful debacle trying to get there, because we were going to go from the Elburn train station, but we had no idea how to actually go there. We thought there would be a ticket agent, and there wasn't. So we had to figure out on the way there how to pay for these tickets. We figured that out. We go down there. We have a great time. And then when we're walking back to the train station, we're on one of the bridges that opens up, and Kristin asked me how soon it would be too soon to say that we loved each other, and I realized right then that right now is not too soon, but I wanted to make it special, so I waited about a week and a half. So we had a special dinner, and then I took her to a place that we used to go during college to go stargazing. It's a little forest reserve, and it's got a bird watching station. So we go up and to watch the stars, and as we're watching the stars, I tell her that I love her.
There are a lot of things I love about Will. I think his number one quality, or at least the one that means the most to me, is just his loyalty. He is that person that everyone would want as their friend because he is just the most loyal, faithful man and person that I know. I think he's that kind of person that sometimes people take for granted because he can be in the background. He's not an upfront, leader, in your face kind of person like I am. Everybody knows every time Kristin's in the room, I make my presence known kind of thing. Will is just that person that doesn't mind being in the background, but at the same time, he'll be there for you when you need him.
What I love about Kristin is really hard. It's actually hard to put into words. I mean, I just love her openness and her willingness to include the weird guy who's just sitting in the corner of the room. That was me. She was always the first one to come in and talk to me. and I love her heart for the kids and her job as a social worker, and the fact that even though I don't talk a lot, she knows exactly what I'm trying to say.
The other things I love about Will is he is very sweet. He's very kind and gentle. He's very patient with me. He's a good listener, which is good for me because I like to talk, and so he's really good at listening intently and just being patient. He's a good support for me too. I tend to be really anxious, worrier, stressed about everything, and Will is like one of the most absolutely chill people that I know. And sometimes it annoys me because I'm like, Will, aren't you gonna freak out about this? And he's like, oh, it'll be all right. And he just knows when to calm me down as well. There are a lot of memories of us dating that I really treasure. I was actually keeping a journal at one point of just all of our dates and kind of what we did each weekend because we saw each other usually just on the weekends while we were dating because I was in Beloit and he was in DeKalb. So it's hard to just pick out one because honestly, all of them are really good. There's a couple that are popping into my mind. One that I can think of is when we went to a drive-in movie theater. He called me up and was like, hey, do you want to go see a drive-in? And I was like totally surprised by it. And we had a really sweet time and actually a really great, serious conversation too on the way back. And it was just one of those times where he surprised me and showed his love for me in a really amazing way.
My favorite memory of Kristin, we tried to get a bunch of people to go with us to Rock Cut State Park. We went paddleboarding, and Kristin fell in. Being the chivalrous guy I am, I fell in on purpose. And then when we got back out, we decided to go for a hike to dry off. And Kristin said she knew this place with this really cool view of a rock with a cut in it, which is apparently how it got its name. So we went looking for it, and we got absolutely lost. And then we got to this bridge, and I had given Kristin some sunglasses when we were paddleboarding. She's holding these glasses, and we're going to take a picture, and she throws the glasses in the river. Instead of just saying, oh, well, we just lost that pair of glasses, she went in and grabbed them. She gets back up, puts them down on the railing, and proceeds to knock them into the river again. So she went down and got them again, and this time I took them away. But it's my favorite memory of her. Every time we're on a bridge, we have to take a picture now. And I take away her sunglasses. And I give them back afterwards.
Another really sweet dating memory that I have is my birthday. You send this huge thing of flowers, and it was like an extra large vase and flower bouquet, and he knows my favorite color is green. And he got this bouquet that was like white flowers, but they had actually like colored them green, so it was actually this beautiful like green bouquet, my favorite color. And so I thought that was amazing. This was a big surprise from Will, and we were supposed to be calling at 8 o'clock that night. And there was no chance on a weeknight typically that we could ever see each other because he lived in DeKalb at the time and I was living in Beloit, which is an hour apart. But when 8 o'clock came, and I was already in my pajamas, showered, like was not expecting anything, instead of my phone ringing, actually the like buzzer for my apartment went off, and I was like, whoa, who's here? And I listened, and it's Will's voice, and he had actually come up all the way to Beloit for my birthday and surprised me that Wednesday night, and that was just super sweet, and it meant a lot that he came. And I was actually feeling sick that week. Unfortunately, I was sick on my birthday, and he had brought me this little care package too with like soup and goldfish type crackers and stuff like that, and he did the dishes, I think, for me, and just a lot of really sweet things. I always kept calling him sweet. He's so sweet. When I described him to my family, I would call him sweet so much they started calling him Sweet Will, and then my dad made it shorter and he called him Swill, which apparently is like a weird word for something else. But anyways, he's my sweet William.